I was proud of ruining my sister's life. My sister Marie and I didn't have the best relationship. We were always in competition with each other. She was 2 years older than me, and our parents seemed to hold her to a higher standard, which put a lot of pressure on her. She was expected to be an excellent student, have an after-school job, have a lot of good friends, and have no boyfriend. Our parents always compared me to her, and how perfect she was. On the outside, she upheld the family rules and kept up her perfect image, but I knew her biggest secrets. I was always living in her shadow, invisible, but she trusted me to keep her secrets. The secrets that said she wasn't the perfect daughter our parents thought she was. She partied every Friday night instead of studying at her best friend's house. She had a secret boyfriend, and whenever she told our parents she was spending the night with her best friend, she was really spending the night with him. I knew everything about her, and yet I kept my mouth shut. One night, I caught Marie in her room dressed in one of her best dresses, the dress that her boyfriend bought her, and putting on makeup and earrings. I frowned and eased myself in her room, closing the door softly. "What are you doing?" I asked. She grinned at me. "I have a date." My frown deepened. "I thought your boyfriend was out of town." "He is." A blush rose on her cheeks. "I've been waiting for this guy to ask me out for weeks, and he finally did." I stared at her in shock. I shouldn't be so surprised, but I didn't think she would stoop so low. "Did you break up with your boyfriend?" I asked, confused. She giggled. "Nope, he doesn't know." Then she lost all humor and glared at me. "And you aren't going to tell him," she said in a threatening tone. I raised my hands in surrender. "I'd never get in the middle of something so messy," I said innocently. I watched her finish getting ready and sneak out of her window, promising to cover for her with our parents. The thing was, I knew her boyfriend, and he was the sweetest guy I've ever met. He bought her several stuffed animals and the earrings she was putting on for a date with another guy. There were pictures all over her desk that showed him loving on her, pictures she had to hide whenever our parents came into her room. He didn't deserve this. I had to get a hold of him. I headed back to my room and grabbed my phone, pulling up his number that I saved in my contacts. He didn't answer when I called, and I groaned in frustration. I had to figure out where he was. Surely Marie would know. I rummaged through the desk in her room, searching for any information she might have about her boyfriend and where he was, but I couldn't find anything. So I called him again and left a voicemail. "This is Marie's younger sister. Call me back when you get this. It's very important." Then I hung up and headed downstairs where my parents were sitting in the living room watching TV. I took a deep breath. "I need to talk to you guys," I told them. They turned off the TV and gave me their full attention. I told them everything about Marie and what she's been doing. I watched as their expressions darkened the more I spoke, until I was afraid Dad was going to explode with anger. He stood abruptly and began pacing while trying to call Marie on speaker. Every time she ignored the call, he got angrier. Then he turned on me. "Why didn't you tell us sooner?" he demanded. I stared at him coldly. Why would I? My phone rang in my pocket before he could reply, and I pulled it out to find Marie's boyfriend trying to call me. My heart raced in my chest and my hands shook as I answered the call. "What's the emergency?" he asked. I hesitated, then answered. "Marie is on a date with someone else." There was silence for a moment before he sighed in disappointment. "I know she's on a date," he said coldly. "She's on a date with my best friend. I had him approach her at school because I got the feeling she was cheating on me. It was a test to see what she would do. Now I know." I rubbed my fingers against my forehead as I felt a headache coming on. "I'm sorry," I said quietly. "It's whatever." He hung up immediately. It didn't take long for Marie to call me and start screaming, cussing me out and threatening me. I hung up on her after directing her to call our father. The phone stayed silent for the rest of the night, but none of us slept until Marie came home the next morning. Dad immediately started lecturing her and locked her in her room, yelling that he wouldn't let her out until she turned 18. I knew I lost my sister.